Hello there, I'm Gary Foster and welcome back to episode 16 of What Price Victory. Since you last left us, we've been able to qualify for the second round of the Asian Championship League, thanks to that 1-0 smash and grab win against Suowon. Since then, we had a 1-1 draw against Newcastle Jets, where we conceded an injury time equaliser, and then we had a rather insipid 0-0 draw in a Big Blue rival game against Sydney FC. As we had already qualified for the game from the game against Suowon, we fielded a few changes in the game against Shanghai Port, and although it was at home, we lost 2-1. It was 2-1 at half time. I wasn't really concerned about the result, as we'd already qualified for the next round. The most important thing there, I guess, was to get through the game without any injuries. So that's why there was a bit of a turnaround. So that's now drawn us against more Korean opponents, and we're off to play Suowon in a two-legged affair in the second round of the Asian Cup Championship. So let me do a little bit of admin and we'll come to that game. Okay, so here we are for the game against Suwon Samsung Red Wings. I think I called them Blue Wings in the last intro, but here we have Acton in goal with Traore, Sporanovic, Ansel and Schotten in defence. Teague comes into a defensive midfield role behind Brimmer and Barnett. Rojas and Italiano, who's redeemed himself of late, providing the attacking prowess out wide, and Laurie Latanzio is up front. Rudy Gustede, who was our saviour in the second last game, he's on the bench with a couple of other players who need to get a little bit of batch fitness. So we'll submit that team. Made a number of changes from the previous game. They are Blue Wings. Suwon Samsung Blue Wings. Okay, we're the underdogs here, which suits us down to the ground. Let's go out and cause an upset. Not usually the way I do it, but if we pump fists and encourage, we'll go with that. Expect to give us a chance in the second leg. Oops, not the reaction I was hoping for, but still in all, it's game on. So kick off and we'll skip, and we're playing with a cautious mentality because we had some success with that particular mentality in the game against Samyang. So get this game underway. A score draw or a win would obviously help, as long as even the odd goal defeat. But ideally a draw would be the minimum that we're looking for. Shot across the bows. Interesting about the crowds too. I think the crowds are quite understated in Football Manager. I mean, I know from experience they do draw some good crowds, especially in the K-League. But here's Laurie Latanzio on the ball. He just took it maybe a touch too far, because in the past he's been more or less taking one touch and then cracking it in. But yeah, the K-League and the J-League for that matter, they get some great crowds there. So I'd question all the empty seats at this particular time. So Suwon bringing the ball out deep. Lots of white shirts are coming back, but there's a couple of blue shirts. They're all by themselves. So Rojas picks the ball up, but doesn't eventuate to anything. The highlight sort of rolls on. Now Melbourne Victory are the last A-League club standing, because the the other two teams, they got knocked out in the qualifying round. So we did well to qualify, actually top of the group, and the draw's also been made for the quarterfinals, but I haven't really looked at that terribly closely because I don't want to get too far in front of ourselves. We've got to get through this two-legged affair first. So the results are determined on a similar way that the European Cup games are decided after two legs. So Italiano not playing terribly well. It's a bit of a worry, that young lad. I've got high hopes for him, but yeah, just not functioning right for us at the moment. Although he did score for us a couple of games ago. So Laurie Lattanzio wide out to Rojas on the ball. Rojas checked, but Italiano's there and scuffs his shot. I thought he actually might have been offside for that. So Brimmer with the corner. A tall timber in the middle. It's out to a blue shirt. He kept it in just. I don't know why he didn't let it go run out for a corner. Suowon, sorry. They now bring it out and set up an attack down our left-hand side. Okay, Rojas wins the ball back. Coming up to half-time, 0-0. So no damage on the leaderboard. We're looking at Italiano again. Yeah, a little bit frustrating. Let's see if we can rev them up. Pump fists to encourage. We haven't been the better team here, so I don't like that. Maybe we can be assertive. See how things are going. Let's keep it up. But it looks as though Jacob will be the first one yanked in this particular period of play, unless he gets some pretty high numbers for me. So everyone's inspired after the halftime oranges, so that's good news. Though by the look of those stats, though, we've certainly been under the pump with no quality ball by the look of it. So Italiano and Gastide, Laurie Lattanzio letting us down a little bit. Adam Traore's figures are now. So we've got to figure out what we want to do, whether we want to shore up our defence. A little bit disappointed with Traore, but let's see what happens to this highlight, and then we might make a change in defence. Right. Might bring on Nishikawa for Traore. Confirm sub and play. Okay, this is dangerous with a 2-on-2. He's been skinned. Coming into the penalty area, ricochet rabbit. And shot and clears the ball. Maybe it's time for a shout. Demand more, encourage. I'm happy that they haven't conceded. I just wish they'd been a couple more goals on target. Or attempts on target, rather. Italiano. He's let me down. He's let me down. Left. Yep. Sorry. Elvis Kamsoba. He can come on. Up yet. So I'll start trying to wind down the clock shortly if we can repulse this attack. Just pause that. So in possession, shoot on sight, play for set pieces, and we'll start winding down the clock. We'll be more disciplined. Out of possession, and play with that deeper defensive line. Confirm those changes and play. So Acton with the ball. Rojas nods it on to Laurie Latenzio, has picked up a booking. Rojas surrounded by blue shirts. Over the top to Latenzio. Oh, and it pulls out a good save from the keeper. Comes... what? Latenzio offside. Okay. Conserva's already on the field, so that's a bit silly. Okay, do that for the last couple of minutes. And there we have it, 0-0. Okay, so yeah, 0-0, not great. Would have liked an away goal or a score draw, but we'd all know what the requirement is now. We have to keep Suowon scoreless at back at our place, and hopefully we can nick a goal. I think, yep, inspired and motivated. Okay, so Melbourne holds Suowon to a draw. 14,000 for a second round win, and it seems a bit mean. Look, there's a little bit of admin there to do, including this press conference. Let me have a look at the schedule, and we'll come back in a couple of days' time for this rather important game against Central Coast Mariners. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so here we are for the for this important game against the Mariners. We've brought Robbie Cruz and Callum McManaman back in for match fitness, and also we need some much more firepower. We've been spluttering along on 3 cylinders, I think, in recent games. So hopefully they can stay on the field, and provide some chances for us. So we'll go on Brother Barry's media hype, and we'll kick the game off. So yeah, with only 3 or 4 games left and Asian Championship, it's all getting a little bit congested at this time of the year, but I guess that's to be expected in most leagues. A little bit of encouragement. Get all the green smarties, which is good. McManaman and Cruz not setting the world on fire at the moment. Okay. Yes, our defence is working well. We've kept the Mariners at bay, but our forward line is playing like bustards. Fire up or demand more? Let's see what happens after this highlight. Ooh, tackle by Gastede, straight red card. No, you can't do that. Okay. So Callum McManaman, he can play wide. Cruz can play through the middle. Okay. So what to do. Okay, so Cruz can come in there, although he's relatively ineffective, and I'll push Laurie Latenzio. He can come on to replace, and we'll play. Okay, up you go, Laurie. And we'll turn back, I think, to be more balanced, and in possession we will focus, play through the middle, and we're happy to shoot on sight, and our passing can be a little bit more direct. A little bit too early to worry about time wasting. Okay. Right, so that's not what we wanted, a straight red card, but it looked pretty dangerous if what you're led to believe. So half time. Still believe we can get a result here. I'm fist to encourage, been the better team, but I will talk to an individual as Castide and say getting sent off so early was unacceptable. Pardon me. So second half. Said they're keeping them at bay, playing the ball deep out of defence. Nods it on to no one in particular. Toying with the idea of playing with a deeper defensive line too, instead of pushing up high in case we get caught out, but we'll just see how we go. Bit of encouragement. Got to be offside. Got to be offside, surely. Looks like he drifted. Static defence. Goal disallowed. Love the VAR. Love the VAR. That's okay. We all saw what it was. Mile offside. But if the AR's told not to call it, they can just use the flag to brush the flies away, I think. Right, maybe looking at another sub with Krush. Okay, not the one that I was hoping for, but it's a rather straightforward substitution with Barrett to come on for Brimmer, an injury. Okay, so looks like it's to the last man standing here. Already made 2 subs, so we've got 25 minutes to go. Fitness issues are a problem with Cruz, probably the worst. I get him off. not really suited. He's not really suited to the role, Lawton, and he's only coming back from injury himself, so I've got him playing out a position which is not ideal. But right now, looks like I'd be happy with a draw. Okay, change down to cautious, a bit of a shout, a bit of encouragement, and hopefully our defence can hold on. Okay, so that was really short and sweet, that particular second half. And as you can tell by the scores, it doesn't look as if we played terribly well at all. So I'm not happy. Unlucky boys, it wasn't our night. Should I go with them? Well, actually, our defensively we played well. It was just our midfield and attack. They let us down. So maybe I should be a little bit no gesture and just say unlucky. So looks like Wanderers. They must have had a midweek game, did they? Looks as though the schedule. Okay, so another 0-0 draw. That puts us on second spot. We're still 3 points ahead of Sydney FC. And results and fixtures. Did Wanderers play? Wanderers had that 5-3 win, so that's what's put them in front. So, okay, right. So what we'll do is come back for the second leg Asian Championships game against Suowon, and we'll probably then look at doubling that up with a game against Wellington, because it should be all on the line then for second spot, which is what we're at least aiming for as the minimum. So I'm Gary Foster. Thank you very much for watching What Price Victory, and we'll catch up with you shortly. Thank you. Bye.